We are live, yes.
Yay.
Welcome, everybody. Okay, so we're going to be talking a few things about not gaining weight during the holidays, right, Martin?
Yes, I'm all in. Let's do this.
All right. So basically, the really think important thing is that just to understand that we really want to talk about some simple holiday things that you've come up with to share with the audience about how we don't have this massive weight gain. You can really look to maintain a healthy weight and not only maintain a healthy weight, but eat healthy, right?
Exactly. Yes. So I have a new microphone. I want to make sure everybody can hear me.
I can hear you.
And my camera goes off for whatever reason. So we'll see how it works. So anyhow, for us, a beautiful little rub salt sodium mix for you that I want to show you that we do in Europe all the time. Very few people do it in America. I think it's something that's been missing. It can cut the sodium way back, and then maybe if you later can explain why the sodium, how it
Yep.
relates with the weight.
Sure.
Next, I'll have a soup for you. I'm going to show a super quick soup that you can do just to give an idea how to lower our calories, right? The whole idea is to just, well, how can you really cut back on those calories? Eat the soup first. Don't buy it because it has too much sodium and cream, and the ones we're making ourselves would just be with so much less calories and sodium at the same time. And
Exactly.
then, if you make it that far, I have a little cucumber salad. We're gonna crush some cucumber salad. Why? Because it's the lowest calorie you can eat. Fill up with the cucumbers, have a beautiful salad. So that would be nice. And then, if we make it that far, we have a little dessert. So let's see what happens.
Oh, we're going to make it to dessert, Martin. Don't you worry.
Oh,
I'll make sure you
okay.
make it to the dessert. Awesome. But I love this about, replacing sodium. So I can't wait to see what you have. It's like, I feel like I'm looking in on a European secret.
So we have the potassium salt rate that we have dealt with over the years, and so that's a good option. And we have also the option of, I don't know, we'll make screen always turns down, a Kräuter nach italienischer Art. So this is like a provincial dried herbs. Okay, you can use anything you get in a store. Here I have basilicum, oregano, mushroom, thyme. There's a little bay leaf in there and such likes. Okay, choose your own. I just bought a dried one. If you have your own garden, please, dry them in the winter time, and everybody makes their own sodium. So here's what you're gonna do. You can measure out 1 ounce to 2 ounces of sodium. But look at the difference. Look how much herb
Yeah.
is in here, and then the tiny amount of sodium. Okay.
So was that herb de Provence? Is that what you
You could use herb de Provence, right?
Okay.
Which has typically like a lot of tarragon in there. Watch out with lavender, that may not fit so well. Okay, so careful with herb de Provence. Just read it through. Stick more with your classics, thyme, parsley, basil, oregano, mushroom, that kind of stuff. But I'm
Gotcha.
going to show you how to do this now, okay? Because it's so simple, okay? So, handheld mixer, dried herbs, okay? And has everybody seen the inside? It's just dried. It's no magic, okay?
Okay.
And we got to make sure this is not going all over my kitchen here. I got to make. And what I'm trying to do, can you hear me?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
What I'm trying to do is I'm going to grind it super fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Would a coffee grinder work too? Like if you use a coffee grinder for just like herbs?
Just hold on a second. It just takes past a second. Okay. So all I'm doing.
Uh-oh. I don't know if I
Okay.
froze. Oh, you froze. There you are. Go ahead. You're back.
Okay. So I don't know why that is on my side, but I'm gonna just have to tap it every so. So I
Okay.
was just grinding the grains,
Okay.
and now I'm adding my salt to it, and I'm gonna just mix that up with the port. And so basically, I have 2 to 1 with the sodium, okay? And
Okay.
this is really wonderful. This cuts my sodium way down, okay? And
Right.
what it does is these herbs, and I could use spices in there as well, but this
Okay.
is already finished product right here.
Wow.
It goes so fast, so easy. You can buy it anywhere you want, right? So it's actually something that I can only highly recommend. My parents have done this for decades already, okay? So
Wow.
this is a really good trick. Keep that in mind, okay?
So a 2-to-1 ratio.
It's a 2 to 1 ratio,
Okay.
okay? And I can then write down, but it's like 1 ounce here. So 1 ounce of herbs, but remember that's a lot of herbs, right?
That is
Herbs,
a
right?
lot.
They don't weigh anything.
Right.
And then you have the sodium in there, and I mean it's very, very little sodium.
Okay.
So here's another trick. I'm gonna make a soup because people always buy the soup. I've noticed in the markets, right? And I really think, you shouldn't really buy a product that is just loaded with cheap oils, loaded with creams, loaded with salt, loaded with who knows what. We
Right.
want to actually load that up with low calorie ingredients. Okay. And here is something super simple for home. Frozen veggies. Look at this. Frozen
Okay.
veggies. So yes, of course, I always get my fresh veggies and all that kind of stuff. But there's also the time where, well, you can't go shopping, there's snow outside, whatever the excuse may be. And it's very, very cheap. They get harvested at the best time of the year. They're super ripe. Everything looks great. All we're going to do is combine that with water and bring it to a boil.
Hmm.
It's really that simple, okay? Now,
Okay.
I could go and let's say normally I put, who knows how much garlic in there and ginger and curry and all this stuff. But right now, this idea here is really like what we do in our culinary school. It's just focus on the low caloric density here, right? That's what we're after here today.
Right.
So it's really like fill up with a soup before you go to a party, fill up with a soup before you eat any entrees and so on. Okay, so
Right.
let's
That
take
makes
a look.
sense.
I have a veggie stock here. Okay, so this is just house-made veggie stock. I have a recipe on my Substack, and I've also used this herb mixture here, less than a teaspoon. Okay, for 3, I'm gonna write it down exactly the recipes. Okay, but it's very, very little because all those herbs help me
Mhm.
not having to use so much sodium. And I'm
Mhm.
gonna just put my veggies in. Now, I will say this is not covered. This is just barely covered now with the liquid. Now I can see it. I would have to lift it, right?
Yeah.
But all you do is you just cover it by an inch with your uh, liquid.
Okay.
And then you puree it, and that's your soup. So you have a pureed veggie soup. Super easy, super fast. Okay.
Wow.
Super
Okay.
low calories. I'm gonna cover it up. This whole thing takes me about, I'd like to say, 20, 30 minutes. So it comes to a boil, and then we
Okay.
puree it in a blender.
Okay.
Okay.
So you make it a smooth soup.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. And then typically I add afterwards in beans or anything else, get my fiber, get my protein, everything else. But in general terms, I'm actually just simply keeping it very simple as a base soup. I can
Mhm.
use it as a sauce. I can cheat a little in here and a little bit there. So it's really, really wonderful.
So what is the best type of bean do you think for this type of soup that tastes good? The different types.
You really just can't go wrong, right? So because we're talking about super quick, easy, and simple, people, like if you cook this way, you're probably just going to use a canned
Mhm.
bean. Again, watch for low sodium, let it soak in the water, wash those beans off really good because they're just loaded with sodium, right?
Right.
That would be my
Right.
recommendation.
Like white beans would be tasty with something like that, or
I have kidney beans here. So here's
kidney
what I
beans. Okay.
do. I don't know. Can you see it like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're
It's
soaking
like,
them.
yeah, I soak my beans overnight and
Okay.
then I just simply cook them the next day. They take about 90 minutes
Okay.
and that's going to be for my soup tomorrow.
Nice. Okay. Lovely.
All right. I can maybe first go on quickly to get our salad started. How do you want to do this? You
Yeah,
want to maybe
let
first explore the soup and
yeah, so I'll just talk a little bit about the sodium too and why it's so important to cut back. So because as many of you know that sodium has been linked to high blood pressure, and high blood pressure is oftentimes people underestimate the severity that it can have the impact on your health. It's actually the number one causer of death because it worsens kidney function, heart disease, all these different things. So when you can decrease that sodium, which is a driver of fluid retention, right? Which is that fluctuation. So people, let's say you go out to eat and the next day you suddenly gain 2 or 3 pounds. You're like, did I eat that many calories? No, you're probably retaining fluid because where the sodium goes, the water flows, right? So it's following the sodium. That's just the way it works. So it takes a few days to get that out of your system. But there's more than that, right? So that fluid now is inside your arteries and that causes an increase in your blood pressure, but it also stiffens the arteries. And so that can make a big, big difference. So that would be one super way to do this. And you're adding more flavor, right? So it's beyond just the salt. You're adding the herbs and all that stuff. So it's actually creating a really nice palate differentiator from the sodium. So now we have go ahead. Sorry.
no?
I was just going to mention the low calorie piece. I think people really underestimate or don't even think about the caloric density. But the cool thing is you get the caloric lower calories in these foods, but you also get a nutrient increase, right? So you're getting lower calories for higher nutrient profile. So you really can't go wrong with doing something like this. Plus it just kind of sneaks in those vegetables. And if you're not really into eating a lot of vegetables at one time or making sure you have all the varieties, blend them up. I mean, like how many type of vegetables did you have in there, Martin, in just that one cup or
So in
whatever?
this case, it's 2 to 1 is a good start, but it all
Uh-huh.
depends what starchy veggies you have, right? So if in that mix is, for example, potatoes or starchy veggies, you're not going to
Hmm.
need as many. And then
Okay.
if it's only zucchini, you're going to need accordingly that much more product, right? So that's always something.
Well, how many vegetables were in your mixed vegetable mix? Like how many vegetables did you hit?
5 veggies for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's already 5 different vegetables, different colors, different phytonutrients. So you're increasing your micronutrients, which is only going to be very helpful for your long-term health. So yeah, absolutely.
All right. Okay. Well, shall we move on?
Yes, yes, yes. And I just will say also, just real quick before you carry on, is that we're talking when he mentions our culinary school, it's our school. It's called Culinary Healing, and we actually teach you guys how to cook and eat this way. It's amazing. I meet live every week. We answer medical questions. We talk about habits, but then Martin has an entire oh my goodness. It's like how to start with stress-free cooking. And then you learn all these amazing recipes and how to do all the techniques a professional chef does in the kitchen, but you get to do it in your home and you really learn how to like kind of break free from the, recipes. But I will put that link later. But anyway, I just wanted to highlight that real quick.
Well, I think what's really fascinating too is just to give people an example, actually, what we have there. The first week is about stress-free cooking,
Hmm.
right? And then with it, trying to identify the lowest caloric foods. And I have this list right in front of me that we are actually having in the school. So you don't get to see this in my subject. That's actually just in our in-depth school, those 4 weeks where we really, really go in and focus on metabolic health. But one of the great things is here, when I look down my list of lowest caloric foods, it starts with watercress, bok choy, iceberg, romaine, and then cucumber is
There you
right
go.
on the bottom of that list. And what have I prepared today? Cucumber salad.
Perfect. I love it.
Of course. But it's 15 calories per 100 grams. I want people to
Wow.
think about that. You can fill up your stomach easily with cucumbers and you can't gain any weight. It's not possible, right? So
No.
I did it actually when I was on my weight loss journey. And I've lost over 50, nearly 60 pounds of weight from my highest
Wow.
phase, which was 2010, so 15 years ago, right?
Wow.
But I've lost all that weight, and the way I did it was eating high nutrient dense foods, but also low caloric foods.
Gotcha.
And in the school, we actually featured that, and I first printed that chart out, and then I cooked the recipes.
Mm.
So if you're interested to lose weight, this is a really, really good way to go. For sure.
Yep. Yep. And you can join for a couple of weeks or a week with our trial. And if you like it, great, you can stay. And if you can stay a month, you want to go, that's great too. But we have a lot of fun in there. So
I think that's actually the nice thing about it, because you have 4 big themes, but you can choose if you just want low glycemic index and you're more like worried about diabetes or so on, you can focus on that.
Yeah.
Stress-free cooking, batch cooking for the holidays. You have it all there lined up for you.
yeah, we
Shall
really
we move
focus on
on
that.
to the cucumber salad then?
Yes, because I have a cucumber in my refrigerator that needs to be used up. So what can I do with it?
Let's see what happens here. Okay, so we got an Asian inspired salad. I gotta be careful because I know Julia Dunaway is watching me here every so often, and she actually lives, Chef Julia Dunaway. I don't know if you know her. You should definitely sign on to her. She is absolutely fantastic. What she does is the dozen from Dr. Michael Greger.
Hmm.
And so she highlights all the superfood, but she also lived in Japan where the longest living people live, right? With
Wow.
the highest life expectancy. So she knows all the Japanese tricks. She knows all the superfood. She cooks according to Dr. Michael Greger. Absolutely stunning. Gotta sign on to her. Really, really fascinating. I just watched, actually. She did a live too, so I was very taken. Here we go with my version of an Asian salad, okay? And we're gonna try to smash it. So this makes it typically a big mess here. So I'm gonna see if this, so people can see it. Can you see it here? Yeah.
Yep, I can see it.
What you do is you mash it with a pick.
What? Are you doing anger management again?
Yeah, well, it's that time again.
It's that time of year. Let's mash a cucumber.
It's the time of year. Okay, so we're just gonna go. I've washed the cucumber, wash it first. Okay.
I was not expecting this. You're literally beating a cucumber.
Right. I'm eating a cucumber. How cool is that?
I'm actually kind of speechless. And this is rare, Martin. This is very rare.
Oh yeah. So like,
Wow.
this way, that way. There's some magic that happens when you do it this way.
Oh my gosh. If I
Well,
start beating a cucumber, my family's gonna think I've lost my mind.
don't you ever think that everybody needs a toy like this when, like your husband doesn't do what you want him to do, or this is the
Yeah,
way to go.
yeah, but he was like, "Why are you carrying a rolling pin and a cucumber?"
Uh,
Oh my
so,
heavens.
look, so I'm going to cut the end off there. I'm going to just chop it a little bit down still.
Because the beating wasn't enough, you're gonna now cut it. This poor cucumber.
There's no number. I want mouth pieces,
Okay.
but unlike a traditional European style, in Europe, we cut them super, super thin.
Yeah.
It's a different mouthfeel, right?
Yeah.
But I always miss the chunkiness that you have, right? And in the Asian cuisine, you have it just like this. Like here you can see it, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to put it in my bowl. Look how beautiful this looks. Look at this.
It's all bruised up. No, it does. It looks amazing.
It's hard for the stuff. Poor cucumber.
The cucumbers have feelings too.
You're going to have to take it, and I'm going to add these juices right in there.
Awesome.
So many people, and chefs especially, always take the seed out, but the seed is where the fiber is. Why would you want to take that out, right? So you want to have the leaf there, right?
Yeah.
The other thing is, in European cooking, we're taking always the peel off, but I don't want to take the peel off.
All right.
But you really, you can find sometimes the small cucumber, the Iranian cucumbers, they're absolutely delicious. That would
Okay.
be a really great, great way to do it. If you ever get them, that's a definite way to do it for sure.
You said those were Iranian cucumbers to
Now,
look for?
these are just normal hot cucumbers, to be honest, right?
Uh-huh.
That's what I had. But often I can get the small Iranian cucumbers.
Ah,
And
okay.
those are really nice. They're like not quite as juicy, but they have a nice crunch. So that's
So
what I would recommend.
in the United States, we get, the green regular garden variety cucumbers, or we can get the English cucumber. Is there one of those varieties that would work better for this?
Well, I mean, use the English Atlas cucumbers, but again, there's smaller varieties in Whole Foods. You can find it. I definitely recommend that. That's super, super nice. Okay, but let's do that salad real quick here. What do I have here? I have shallots. Okay, that's the quercetin. Just like a tablespoon. I have some garlic here. Teaspoon. And ginger. I'm just going to grind that in there, okay? And what you see is when you grind the ginger, you really want to actually try to see it has this hair in there, right? You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you see it real nice, okay? So we don't want to get it in the soup. We want to actually keep it outside, right? So we just have that on the outside, just like that. And I think that helps a lot. Because then you avoid all the unpleasant texture of it, okay?
Okay.
So the hair is actually right there on the grater. Can you see it?
Yep. Yeah.
Then the lower part I'm going to clean off and I put that in my salad, okay? The flavorful stuff. Okay, so normally you would always add a lot of sugar to that. I'm going to add just a little bit of the date syrup because in all dishes you always do sweet sour. I don't need very much. I use rice vinegar. Okay, just enough. I have a lot of peppers, but you have like chili products such as Oleg. Are you familiar with the Oleg brand, something like that?
Mm-mm.
You can use a little sriracha that's just has a little garlic in there and it's already seasoned.
Wow.
But if you have like an Oleg or a chili brand that you like, use that.
Okay.
And here is something else to consider. I'm really don't liking oils in general, right? Because oils are so calorie dense.
Mm-hmm.
But I have something wonderful for you, which is this sesame oil.
Okay.
This is flavor dense. It's a roasted sesame oil that is used in Japanese cooking. They cook very, very little oil, almost no oil at all.
Okay.
And a teaspoon there will flavor the salad for 2 people. So for 30, 40 calories, you get plenty flavor for 2 salads. And I think that's actually a game changer, right? Because I'm looking for lots of flavor and little calories, right?
Right. Right.
So you can measure that out already. A little measuring cup. And even this teaspoon is more than enough for this amount. Okay.
Okay.
So even less than a teaspoon if you like. And if you're really, I think if you had, I don't know where you stand there, but if you really have heart disease problems, well, I think Dr. Grimes Feinsinger doesn't allow it. And, obviously if you have plaques or whatever, you should stay away from it, right?
Right.
Okay. Did I forget anything? A little sesame seeds? Just a little, just give it a little crunch. And I'm gonna mix that through. Let's see if you can see that. I'm gonna just mix it through, just like that. You see?
Oh, nice. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So what's so
Fantastic.
nice about this is you have all the crunch. They can see the chunks here, right?
Right.
It's a total different. There's some restaurants who serve this style salad now.
Uh-huh.
We have one in Vienna actually. But it's a total different style salad, and I just love it, love it, love it. Yeah, like because you bite into it and it's so gratifying, right? It's supposed
Yeah.
to be super thin cut.
Yeah.
So
I love it. No, that sounds amazing.
keep in mind, this salad as it is, I would tag this at less than 100 calories, even with oil,
Wow.
because
Amazing.
this has only, the oil has maybe 30 calories at the most that I put in there.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else, I mean, there's just spices in there and stuff, right? So,
Right.
and the cucumbers have 15 calories per 100 grams. So what you have here is roughly 75. I mean, it's nothing. It's, it's how you can fill up.
So
Gonna taste it right now. I'm sorry.
if someone was allergic to sesame seeds, like my daughter's allergic to sesame seeds, what would you use a different oil of any kind in there? A different flavor?
I was going to say peanuts, but you may be allergic
She's
to
fine with
peanuts.
peanuts, yeah, but the sesame, it's funny, right? She can't eat tahini or hummus. And
Yeah,
so I was just curious.
yeah. Well, I mean, it obviously peanuts is the most flavorful. I'm going to taste it
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
Mm.
Of course. Every time I do the slide with you, and my stomach's going, I'm so sad, Lori. Why don't you feed me like this?
It's missing something.
Oh? So how do you know it's missing something? So what is going in your mind? Like when you taste that, like what was that in that thought?
Because I always use the same process. I do it methodically. Okay. What I do is I always go first for sweet sour instantly, right? Is there anything sweet in there? Date zero. Do I miss a little bit sugar there? Yes, but I'm doing clean eating. I'm doing conscious eating. Sure, if you really need to have a little bit more date syrup in there, go for it, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's a conscious decision I've made. The sourness comes from the vinegar. Okay, so
Okay.
sweet sour, I got covered. Sodium, as I was pointing out, I used a little bit of that herb mixture that we made before.
Uh-huh.
So I just add a little bit in there just to take the blandness away, but
Okay.
not so much that it's like salty. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Not too much. Yeah, exactly.
So what I'm missing too is actually something herbaceous. So I'm going to put a little mint in there. I can use parsley. I can use cilantro. I can, whatever you have at home,
Okay.
just chop a little bit basil in there. It's good to go.
So in your mind, as you're tasting something, it's sweet sour first, then you're laying in the salty, and then you're laying in
Yeah.
the herbs. So what would you call that? Like, is it like how do you know which herb would be best for that particular dish?
You just want something to brighten it up, right? Because a simple cucumber salad like this, I'm going to eat it with something else. So this
Okay.
is not the only dish I'm going to eat, right? So either eat
Right.
it with a entree,
Okay.
or I'm eating it as a side. But either way, however I do it, there's more flavor layers there. I don't need to have the umami in here, right? So I could put, okay, so how about this? If I eat this as the entree, right?
Uh-huh.
Say I eat some pork and bread with it or something, or I have some rice and I want to just the simple stuff, then I would add soy to it or a little miso. Because the
Okay.
umami is missing in there, right? So there's
Gotcha.
very little umami. I will say that, right? The
Okay.
Oleg paste will make up for that, for example.
Okay.
But garlic, ginger, rice vinegar, and sesame oil alone are not the umami flavors, right? So
Right.
I'm not worried about it because I'm eating it with something else that will either have a mushroom in it, that will have a little stock or something like that, right? So I'm aware that there's not the umami there,
Okay.
but eating it with something else. In addition, we have spice in there. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So just imagine now, let's say you make a quick stir fry
Okay.
and you have a mushroom stir fry or something.
Yeah.
And then I make this and I eat this dish with it.
Okay.
It will be wonderful because this dish gives me a break from the stir fry.
Mm.
So now I'm eating
Gotcha.
the mushroom, right? And then I eat this salad refreshing again,
Gotcha.
right?
You're like cleansing the palate, so to speak.
You're cleansing the palate.
Okay. That's cool.
With low calorie salad.
Awesome. Okay. And it's not so heavy that you walk away from the meal just like slumped over from so many calories and heavy.
I think so. My biggest success to my weight loss was actually eating tomatoes. Like I had 4 tomatoes. I'm not making it up. People won't believe it. I ate so many tomatoes back then, right? I was so busy working. And so I was used to just eating brownies and just nonstop munching, right?
Okay.
And then when I really got serious about it, first I remember Dr. Dean Ornish's program, right? And then Dr. Joel Fuhrman, right? And so I slipped into this, no, actually eat more food, but eat
Mm,
low caloric foods, right?
hmm
So I had a whole cucumber and it would just fill me up enough to trick my mind, hold me over a little bit longer. I think what people don't understand, like you may not have had to deal with the weight issues as much as I did, for example, right?
Oh.
But the really biggest issue for me was actually this empty feeling always, right?
Hmm.
So for me, an empty stomach, right? I'm like, you go crazy, right? You
Right.
just want to eat something, right?
Right.
And once understood, I can eat as much broccoli as I want. I can eat as much zucchini and load up with the cucumber and apples and or with skin on and pears and plums. And I mean, I was eating all the time. People don't believe how much I ate. It's
Right.
crazy. Leave the fat out, it'll be fine.
Right. Right. That's true. Leave
Calories
out the
come from the
calorically
meat,
dense. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Amazing. Okay. Cool.
All right. Okay.
Yep.
So I can put it up. Yep.
The other thing is this is really a nice primer for your meal because it will lower your blood sugar, right? So you're getting all that non-starchy veggies kind of taking in first and it slows down the absorption of your blood sugars. This is a great little trick.
I think that's what I'm most fascinated about when you're talking about controlling the blood sugar, right? Because that's a dual effect there for the weight loss, right?
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's not going to cause your blood sugar to rise. One, because it's so low calorie, it's not easily absorbed just because it's raw cucumber. But also it's going to blunt the effect of anything that comes in after in that meal. So it's a cucumbers are pretty phenomenal. I will tell you though, tomatoes are some of my favorite foods. So I can totally see, especially the little cherry tomatoes that are like fresh out of your garden. It's like candy to me. Oh my
I
goodness.
was already spoiled. I had that big heirloom tomatoes, just
Oh,
gigantic pineapple tomatoes, and I would just eat the whole tomato.
yes, that
And
sounds amazing.
my colleagues couldn't believe me, because they're eating the whole tomato there, right? But it was just munching away, right?
I can do that with bell peppers too. The red bell peppers. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. So good. Mm-mm-mm.
Oh,
Mm-mm-mm.
let's take a look at this soup.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So we have this soup.
Okay.
Can you see it? Oh, I
Yeah.
can steam up everything.
Yeah, no, I see
So
it.
again, so it's 1 to 2. There's 2 veggies to 1 part of veggie stock. And again, there's carrots, potatoes, and there's other things. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in this blender
Okay.
and I puree it up. Okay. And then ta-da!
It's already done. Amazing.
Then you get this soup.
Wow.
See, that's how you do it. Just like
Wow. So is that what kind of consistency do you get there? Is that kind of a watery or is it thicker
this is fairly thick. But again, this will totally depend
or how
on
much fluid?
what is in your veggie mix. So this veggie mix actually had a little potatoes in there
Okay.
and some turnips and some carrots. And so
Oh,
look
so
how
it's a little
chunky this
thicker.
actually is.
Oh, that actually oh wow, looks amazing.
Right?
You just throw in some
So
beans and you're all set.
make it as thick or thin as you want.
Okay.
But the thing is, I mean, you're probably better than I estimating how many calories are in there. But in 2 cups, there couldn't be more than 100 calories in there. There's probably 60, 70 calories in there.
Very minimal. Right. Very minimal.
Remember,
sure.
right? So for the holidays, if you're loading up on a soup like this, you're good to go just before you go out and party or before you do all the bad stuff. I would recommend.
Bad stuff. We
Mm,
don't do bad stuff. What are you talking about? Our audiences are
Never.
amazing.
All right. So I mean, so as far as like just doing something quick and easy, and don't open the bag, don't buy the cans, you just read what's on there, what's in there. It's not worth it because you cannot make it easier than this, right? It's
Right.
just warming things up and pureeing it.
And you can make a few of these, right? You could do it. This is such a simple batch cook idea. You throw it in some jars and put it in your fridge, and then you have them for a few days.
Absolutely, right? You can even freeze it. You can have it
Yeah.
ready. You can bring it to work with you. You can bring it in a flask with you.
A thermos.
The
Yeah.
work, people ask me so many times, or this nurse is always asking. So I think I'm not sure if I told you this yet, but I was in this Facebook group. They have 150,000 people here in Germany in Austria, right? And I was like, the expert, the chef expert. And people ask nonstop, what can they do when they go and have a night shift?
Mm,
Big problem, right?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, make a soup like this.
Yeah.
You put it in a flask.
Yeah.
And you can sip it all night long, right? You don't
Yeah.
have to live with cheese and sausage like everybody does here.
And that's really helpful for nurses because they hardly ever get a break, right? So it's something they can sip that's, some calories, it's nourishing, it's warm. It could be remarkable for people in the medical field for sure.
I would say so. It's one of the things that resonated really well with that group
Yeah.
of people because they're just desperate sometimes, right? They really just
Bless their
don't
hearts.
know what to bring it along at work. They are up all night long, and that keeps them going in the case.
Absolutely. Okay, that makes sense for sure. Cool.
Shall
And
we?
that
Should we do
we
another
have
one?
we have time for our dessert, Martin. I told you we always have time for dessert.
I cannot leave loud. I have to do it.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's see if this is going to work. I have a very, very simple this year. I have to show you maybe differently. Let's see. Because here it's, well, let's see. I'm going to do it anyways. The idea is always to have as much pectin as you can. The pectin pours out the cholesterol, right? It binds with bile acids and cholesterol gets poured out. So what I do is I use an organic lemon
Okay.
and I peel it with a potato peeler. Hold on. You see that?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I use the whole peel. There's all white stuff on there.
Yep.
And so what does this do? So this is as much pectin as you possibly could have, okay? And I'm taking one of these and I'm peeling it right in there. Okay, just like this. One is, well, yeah, for good measure, let's put it in a little bit corner. And the reason why I do that is twofold, is actually because A, I have pectin. And the second reason is that I have a silken tofu today as dessert.
Okay.
And the thing with the tofu, of course, let's see if this works. The thing with tofu is I don't really like the flavor, to be honest, especially that silken tofu. So I'm really trying it off really, really good. Okay. And then what I do is I overwhelm the tofu flavor with lemon. Lemon is my favorite. But I also use ginger. I use a little bit more. Many other flavors, tangerine or something, but lemon is my favorite. Of course, also chocolate, for example, okay? Chocolate will work really, really nice.
Did you say chocolate?
Cacao, like only pure, pristine product.
I'm all in. Yes, of course. I was just verifying that you said chocolate.
You have to check out Chef Julia Dunaway. She made a chocolate dessert today that will knock your socks off. It's so good.
Awesome.
I just checked her. She just did it an hour before we went on
Okay.
Substack.
Okay.
And she knows me now too, so we're talking a little bit, and it's really fascinating the research she was doing. So
Awesome.
check it out. Look what I have here. I have dates.
Okay.
Okay. And if I get to it, I have also tofu. The tofu has been strained, so this is the soft one now, okay? So we're making, I just let it sit. I always cut it open and then I let it sit upside down to drain off all the liquid.
Okay.
And now comes the big device. Let's see if this works. Okay, maybe I need to plug it in first. Huh? That's always good, right?
You know, there's that magic thing called electricity.
Let's see.
Amazing. I hear a little bit. It's all good.
All right. Was that loud enough?
It was fine.
It's fine. Okay. Just make my new microphone. You know, my son, he's in America. He always watches. And he is like, Papa, you have to use a microphone. So here's my microphone. I hope you can hear me this time.
We hear you just fine.
We'll see you soon. Okay, one more quick time. So what you want to do is you want to actually puree the lemon peel.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to take a little extra time for this. Wow. I like it.
Okay.
I like it. I'm going to give it one more lemon.
So what are you looking for in this flavor? Is it just more of the sour creaminess?
This, I definitely want the sourness. We just want a bit sourness. We want to overcome any tofu flavor.
Okay.
I was asked one time by a famous restaurateur to overcome broccoli flavor for a broccoli dish.
Overcome broccoli. I'm going to make this broccoli dish, but I don't want it to taste like broccoli. Okay.
Exactly. No, seriously, like, so he had me do it, Tim Gannon, right?
Okay.
And I managed to do it. I did like 30 recipes. And then eventually I put like 30 spices on there and, ginger,
Wow.
of course. And the broccoli did not taste like broccoli anymore. It tastes like all ginger and spices.
It was just a carrier for the flavor of all the spices. Yeah, I can imagine.
And actually, you can go there. So anybody watching from Florida, this is the Bolde chain restaurant.
Yeah.
Saint-Brieuc bars, right? And that broccoli recipe, they still have it there. And that's actually my recipe.
There you go.
So look at this. The silken tofu that doesn't taste like tofu.
Oh, it tastes like lemon.
It tastes like lemon.
It's like a lemon puree.
Definitely because of the zest. The zest makes all the difference. The juice gives it the acidity. Because the acidity is really important too.
Yeah, because citrus actually has the largest amount of pectin of all the foods.
Yeah, it's quite fascinating, right? Because you always think apple. I just recently, I think Dr. Michael Greger is writing a new book and he's talking about 2 apples would be the amount of pectin you would need to lower your cholesterol by 10 points. Is that, have you come across that?
No, I haven't, but I would just go straight to the citrus because
Go to the citrus.
Just go straight to the citrus. I don't even think apples are in the top tier of pectin.
That's why 2 minimum, right? So that's, people can hardly eat 1, right? So that will be a challenge for a lot.
Yeah, unless you do like applesauce or something. But there's pears, plums, all the stone fruits, even berries and stuff have some pectin. Yeah.
I have a passion fruit from Africa, and we're gonna operate this boy right now.
Now, passion fruit is typically sour, at least the ones I've had. Is this one sour too?
Exactly. It's got the fruit, super fruity and a little acidity and really big seeds. Let's check it out.
Okay. I'm very curious.
Where am I? Here?
Yep. Go towards your, there you Perfect.
This is so weird. This is a mirror effect here. When I look into this, I never know where I put anything.
I can see it.
Okay, so we're gonna cut it in half. Or not. Oh, look at this beauty.
Wow.
Hello.
Wow.
Wow, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
so we're gonna put, before I do that, I have to test it.
Of course.
I had one already. I cheated. It's so good.
It's so sour.
No, this one is not so sour.
Okay.
These are more sweet, but
Okay.
they're not nearly as fruity as the ones I have in Hawaii.
Okay.
So I really like the ones in Hawaii, right? The really dark purple one. That's
Yeah.
why I see them everywhere.
Yeah.
This is the much milder one, so we're going to serve a lot more. But you see
Okay.
those seeds in there, right? These are really, really big seeds I have in there.
Uh-huh.
I mean, tons of fiber. I'm eating them, right?
Right.
I've never had a problem with that. I've had them a couple of times. And where is my tissue? The tofu, you really want to let sit for a couple of hours.
Okay.
This would be too much. Bothering a little bit there. About so nice area.
So it's just right up on top. Okay.
Ta-da!
Wow. So is that not
So
too much
yeah,
sour? So I guess this is so the passion fruit that I have access to is very sour. Would the sour and the sour be too much?
no, this is like a dream come true. Because this is more fruity. This is more fruity,
Okay.
and it doesn't really have that overpowering flavor. So if I use the purple one from Hawaii,
Yeah.
what I would be doing is actually, because it's so dense, I would actually put that in the mix of the silken tofu. I would
Okay.
blend it in, use a lot less lemon. You probably still need a little lemon, but you can put it in.
Okay. Okay.
Or if you have the puree, which you can buy the puree, of course, the puree you could just add a little bit in place of the lemon. That would work. You may be
Those,
talking just about the puree, right?
yeah. Well, I'm just saying because the passion fruit. So I went to the Dominican Republic, and the passion fruit there was sour and was purple. And so I'm just thinking if you have the silken tofu with the lemon, and you're always talking about balancing things, how does this balance?
The dates,
Oh, the dates, of course.
the sweetness take away the sourness, the acidity. Right?
Gotcha. And how?
The lemon covers the tofu because I don't like the tofu too much.
I
Okay?
see. And then you put
I
the
don't want any
dates.
tofu flavor for dessert, okay? So I'm covering that up. I could do it with just passion if you just had a passion puree, just the yellow puree that you always get everywhere.
Yeah.
That will work for sure. And I've done lots of this. Actually, for Dr. Foreman, I did the whole trays with cashew butter and tofu and the little agar-agar.
Okay.
And then just the passion fruit puree on top and underneath the cashew coconut crust.
Wow.
It's absolutely delicious.
Sounds
That is
delicious.
so good.
Wow.
I had to do it every year for the group then, right? Every time they came back, it's like, better make sure you have your passion fruit dessert up there. You know?
They wait all year for that one fruity dessert. Oh, that sounds amazing. Excellent. So now when you said you had to let this sit for an hour, it's just an hour or two in the fridge, I'm assuming.
So it will actually then firm up more like a panna cotta, but not really, right? A panna cotta is sort of gelatin,
Yeah.
but it just firms up a little bit. You can totally serve it right away. I'm doing good, okay? But I would
Oh, wow.
certainly say, it's an option for you to, it's definitely an option for you to eat it right away. It
Okay.
just chills down again, right? Because every time you puree it, it warms up, right? The dates need to be
Oh, I see.
pureed. It's nice when everything settles a little bit and jellifies a little bit. The
Gotcha.
flavors blend and bloom a little bit, you say,
Yeah.
in the
Blend
kitchen.
and bloom. I love that.
But yeah,
Blend
this
and
is up
bloom.
to you.
I like this. Blend and bloom. There you go.
Yes. But again, here we have a protein for dessert,
Right.
right?
Right.
And I think I'm always fascinated when you're talking about the weight loss and how you use
Mhm.
protein before you eat your carbohydrates and how
Yeah.
does it work?
So just really thinking about what's going on when you consume these foods, it's you get the higher protein, right? And you obviously have the fiber, so the plants. And so that really helps one satiety, right? You feel full. So you have the fiber plus the protein, plus that's slowing down that absorption. There's just so many things. It helps with cravings, especially if you can bring that in earlier in the day, not later in the day. It really does help with those afternoon cravings that people have. So yeah, works every time. And it helps support, when you're exercising, the higher protein foods, obviously. And as we get older and the concern about sarcopenia, I have a ton of articles all about that on the Substack too. So
Well, and
awesome.
I think in the school we go in depth about this as well, so
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Back to school. And you guys, that's called culinary healing. I will put the link below when I post this just a little bit as soon as it processes. And yeah, so we're in there every single week and there's a community. It's a lot of fun. You're going to really learn some very special, I think, skill sets that you can't get other places from Martin. And then I'm here to help answer any medical questions. We work on habits. We do some challenges in there. We're working on these little micro habit challenges, which are a lot of fun. So yeah, it's a great place to hang out with us. Okay, cool. Well, thank you, Martin, again, as always.
I couldn't say it any better myself. Yes, this has been a lot of fun again, this
Every
we got it
Wednesday.
together, by the time I smashed the cucumbers, I wasn't sure how that's going to turn out,
You
but
know,
it worked out.
when you pulled out a rolling pin with the cucumber, I was like, I don't know where this is going, but this will be
Dangerous.
entertaining. It was. I'm glad I wasn't in the room. I might have ran away. No, I was kidding. But no, I'm really curious now to go downstairs and like, hey boys, look what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna beat up this cucumber. I'm gonna think I've lost my mind. I was like, wait, before you judge, Martin said I could. So I think
worried? Are they scared of you?
they're scared every time I talk to you because I come down there trying to do something. I try to like, okay, here comes mom, but it actually turns out well most of the time. They're like, too bad Martin's
Don't
right.
forget that rolling pin.
I don't even know if I have a rolling pin. What else could I use? Just my fist?
Oh, you could use a pot, the back of a pot over plastic. Normally I put it in a plastic bag or something and then I smash the cucumbers. So it's not quite as messy because the stuff can fly everywhere. But I thought for this time, I think I wanted to have a challenge and let's fly it everywhere. Have some fun with it.
Oh my goodness. That actually would be, I didn't even think about I should probably definitely put it in a bag. But wow, use a pot. You knew that answer really quickly.
Yeah, that's not with the pot, right? Or you could also put a towel right over it. That's why you made the towel right there, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise it splashes everywhere. But it's so much more fun when you have some things flying and
it reminds me of, and you probably have no idea, maybe you do. There was a comedian back in the, I don't know, 80s, early 80s, and he would mash it's American, of course. He mashed these big watermelons on his audience that would come, and they would all pay to be in an audience and have mashed watermelon. I don't know. I can't remember the guys.
Right?
This
is not happening in Europe. They don't do this in Austria. You save the movie.
I said, of course they're American. But anyway, I'm American. I can make fun of us. But it was really interesting what people will pay to go get literally watermelon mashed upon them. Interesting. What a fascinating way to end our program today. So thank you, everyone.
Very appropriate.
Very appropriate. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
All right. Till next week.
Bye, Martin.
Okay. Bye.